Sources.
The national line is actually pretty stupid. You lose an entire production center.
What sources?
However, sticking a little town on there is not a bad idea.
It isn't, but then the Spanish come and just practically starve you to death by just cutting off all your water source.
Yeah, but it's a town. Like, who cares?
Still, every little bit counts. Starve you to death.
You can't build troops from a town anyways.
Off all your water source.
Yeah, but it's a town.
The only faction that can do that is Boba's faction, funnily enough. But you can only recruit levy units. That's the stipulation.
You can't build troops from a town anyways.
Can you do Scorched Earth? No.
Damn it.
Basically, the problem behind that is basically you would just automatically be ahead of your opponent. Because what you would do is you would send out a couple of armies, and then one of them sticks, and then it attacks the settlement, and then you just like destroy it, and then you retreat back, and then your opponent's just permanently set back, and it's just like there's nothing you can do.
No, I mean like they're coming to invade you, and you just burn your own shit. Like, oh, you want the city? Well, I just burn it to the ground.
No.
Damn it. Taking the fun out of this, Trevor.
I mean, I don't want this to be like. I mean, we could sit here and draft, you know, our own freaking.
You don't want it to be cheesy.
Well,
but
also,
for this first iteration of this game, it is going to be simplistic. Maybe later on, if people want a complex, hardcore meta game, then yeah, then we can do that. But as of right now, we're keeping things simple.
In my lore, in my headcanon, each city I lose is everyone, my own citizens, burn it to the ground. That's my headcanon.
Well, the thing is that if your opponent takes over a settlement, it's got no defense for a long time, so they're semi-easy to take back. So, like, that's another thing is taking over another people's settlement is a huge investment of troops, because you have to not only overcome their defense, but you also have to have enough, in just troop-wise, to defend the town, because it's defense points that are going to slowly come back.
But can you sack and raise? Can you raise? I mean, not raise our sack. As in, can you just loot the city and just go?
No.
If you go to a settlement, you have to, and if you take it, you take it.
Well, I mean, the air quote thing you would do is if you wanted to like screw over your opponent, you would just take over the settlement and then retreat your army back, and then
you still
while
get
you're
money.
earning income, they're not earning income, which is arguably that much better.
So pretty equivalent to sack. That's basically sacking. Might as well. You're still getting income from it.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
Console, do you like your placement?
I haven't checked yet. I'm trying to figure out what OBS settings I need to stream without it being garbage.
You need a good computer.
It's not bad. I mean, I just got a
What are
new
you trying to
graphics
stream?
card. I have a good SSD.
What are you trying to stream, console?
Blood Bowl and Boted eventually.
So you're trying to beat Trevor in the streaming game?
For streaming, you need RAM and a good CPU.
Okay, yeah, my CPU.
Do you have any of those
consoles? I need a new CPU then.
I don't know, this is going to be an interesting little game. There's a lot of friendships are going to be destroyed.
Oh, absolutely.
Is this your whole plan, Trevor, just to turn everyone against each other? So when they go play Blood Bowl, it's like no mercy.
I mean, I have no
long
control
con.
over who's a cutthroat and who isn't. That's up to you.
How much money do we start with, Claire?
You start off with whatever your income would be. So, for most factions, that's going to be 350.
But if you disband your armies, will you have more?
Why would you
Turn
disband your
turn
armies?
2 you would, yes, but not turn 1.
Oh, okay, okay.
Turn 1 you have to start with your army.
Right, okay.
So unless you're a faction that has some decrease in cost, then you're gonna have 350 gold. Turn 1.
All right.
But then turn 2, if you want to disband your armies, and then you make a whole bunch of trade, and then you do this, do that, then yes, you would start raking in the dough. Because you can all check your treasury summary. Your armies cost a lot of money. Like the average army, the 2 armies that you have total up to 900 gold, and you're only making from your cities 1250.